Hey, it's Jordan back again. It's here to talk about Facebook privacy. So, Facebook has grown over the years. It started off as a small niche into a multi-million-dollar company. Uh, Facebook now under scrutiny over its deceiving privacy policy. They use specifically tailored advertising sales to make most of their money. Specificity is achieved in ads from individual information and activity customers provide through their accounts. This invasive use of information has painted a negative picture of Facebook and has resulted in many lawsuits and criticisms. But despite this, the company was built on the use of public information, so it's obviously not going to stop this. Perform an ethical analysis of Facebook. So, invasion of and selling of personal information. Facebook believes most want open and connected or want people to believe that, as the founder would say, relation of privacy to Facebook's business model. Facebook depends on the use of public information to make most of their revenue. So I guess you could say the least amount of privacy, the more it profits Facebook. As Mark Zuckerberg often says, that people want the world to be more open and connected. The statement clearly made in the best interest of the company's profitable history, not in favor of the user, obviously. Describe the weakness of Facebook's privacy policy. Facebook's privacy policy is more difficult to comprehend than government notices or typical bank credit card agreements. Use of information without consent. Who does this fall on? Who's responsible for all of this happening? Well, first of all, it wouldn't happen without Facebook, so I believe that's where it starts. But also, uninformed users, they don't research enough, and they're oblivious to what could possibly happen to their information when it's on Facebook. Company and user relation to privacy policy. Well, the company should take care of the customer information. The customer/user shouldn't be so oblivious not to ask what they are signing up for. But on a large platform such as Facebook, I believe people trust that it would be safe. You would think a big company equals trustworthiness, but that's not always the case. What technology factors have contributed to Facebook privacy policy? Social media, with its wealth of personal information, advertising targeting users with personal information, software bug or code that tracks users across the internet even if they are not using Facebook, facial recognition software, which caused a lawsuit in 2016. Will Facebook be able to have a successful business model without invading privacy? Many people are back and forth on this, and you could say yes or no. I believe that they can. Um, it may not be quite as successful as the business model they've recently used because they can use as much information as they want. But asking for consent should be a part of this model. I believe to be trusted as a company and not risk your reputation, uh, you have to protect the customers first. Customers have a lot of power and word gets around fast. If they continue to take user information, eventually consumers may boycott it altogether, which is a risk Facebook doesn't need to take. So can Facebook make this possible? I believe there's two different scenarios. They either stop using the information, user information, or they ask for consent of use of that information from the user. Both have different outcomes. Um, to ask consent would be to pose a risk to lose access to information, but this may go a long way to get the company out of legal trouble. which will only repeat if they continue to do what they're doing. Their current business model relies heavily on the invasion of privacy of users, so it would be a huge change. The trend they are moving towards is informing members that if you use Facebook, you do not have any privacy, basically. I believe this is possibly a temporary fix. They do profit massively now, so they most likely are trying to ride this train as long as they can. So as far as which one should they choose, which one's the best, I believe asking for consent's probably the best. If they stopped using user information, there would be no company. So they have to still use user information, so they just have to ask for consent. That's the big thing. So what type of tips for Facebook users? Most people can't just delete it, or they don't want to delete it. What are some tips for those people that are staying in the Facebook world? So I'm going to read this question first. Years of privacy scandals has shaken many users in Facebook. 44% of users update privacy settings due to recent concerns. So how do these users combat this? They keep your whereabouts to yourself, turn off facial recognition, limit data collection by Facebook partners, protect your account from hackers, make your page harder to find, limit who can see your profile, photos, and posts, stop your likes from becoming ads, restrict Facebook from tracking your activity on other websites, restrict Facebook siblings from tracking your activity, perform a little crowd control. And also, I will provide a link, a more in-depth description of these Facebook tips. In conclusion, if you do participate in social media, be aware of the risk, especially with Facebook. Take measures to protect your personal information. Facebook isn't going to stop exploiting information of its users anytime soon, so awareness is key. Or you could also stop using social media altogether, which would eliminate the problem. But for most, this isn't an option. Here's my link for tips for Facebook users that I promised. And I appreciate you watching my presentation, and I hope you have a good day.